Hey everybody, what's going on? It's Florida Rican nationalist Luis Rivera. Uh, I'm outside enjoying this beautiful night sky. I had to put a light on so y'all can see your boy. But while I was out here, I was wondering, you know, if they're willing to starve you now, if the government's willing to starve you now, knowing how many people are dependent on SNAP and furlough however many uh, government employees that it's furloughing, uh, straight up telling people to go home, or, which is worse, making them work with no pay. These are the good times. These are the good times. What, like, what? I, I don't, I don't understand what some of y'all envision happening. Do you envision the government growing a conscience and uh, doing the right thing, helping its citizens? Because if you think that's what's going to happen, I invite you to read all of U.S. history from the time the first Anglo boot hit the ground, or the first Spanish boot hit the ground. And the Spanish were more, uh, I guess I wouldn't say easy going, but they uh, immerse themselves with the people eventually, right? Whereas, so we all blended. Obviously there are more distinct phenotypes. Um, Light skinned dudes like Ricky Martin. Um, I'm light brown, but I got an afro, curly beard. So I obviously look mixed. You could tell I'm some kind of mix because motherfuckers be walking up to me asking me if I speak English all the time. But you know, you just gotta sit back and wonder what what are they going to do to you? Are you ready? Are you ready to starve? Are you ready to get stopped and have them search you? Show me your papers, prove who you are? Man, I'm telling you, these are good times. You think that same government is that we just discussed is gonna come out and give you a hug and take care of you and all this shit? They gonna let you die, buddy. Sorry for you, buddy, but you know, I'm happy. I'm happy you trusted mass murdering villains to help you out. I'm glad you thought those mass murdering psychopaths who run this country were gonna help you out. If you think these people who are actively arming a country that's blowing babies to bits in refugee camps, you are outside of your mind. You are delusional. You need to get right with the Most High. Okay? You need to understand that first and foremost. You need to get right with the Most High. Then you need to get right with your food game. You need to start storing away shelf stable foods. Sorry, I got a little excited. Shelf stable foods. You got to start storing shelf stable foods. Say that 3 times fast. Um, you also got to work on your own food production. I know some people can't have chickens, but guess what? Quails qualify as pets if you keep them in a cage. They don't need that much room. They don't need that much room. Hey, you better get inventive. Because the times we're living in, these are good times. These are times before anything gets bad. This, this is the calm before the storm. And a lot of y'all don't realize The storm is coming. Yeah. The storm is going to come. Are you building your ark? Are you doing what the Most High is telling you to do? Are you listening for him to give you guidance? Or are you just out here having a good time? Are you having a good time? Hey, because that's all they want. They want you to argue about jingles, because that's all songs are, is jingles. And they want you to argue about sports. So they want you to argue about games and jingles, like y'all are children. They treat y'all like children because most of y'all act like children. We won the game. You didn't win the game. You're not on the team. You're making them rich, but you ain't on the team. You ain't getting invited to none of their parties. You need to wake up and pay attention to your own damn life and look what's going on around you. You need to see these jokers don't give a shit about you. Left, right, Democrat, Republican, conservative, liberal, whatever they want to call themselves. Nah, man, it's us against them. It's the top versus the bottom. And if you haven't figured that out right now, you're never going to figure it out. You're not going to figure it out till you got a gun in your face and they're marching you and your kids off to some camp somewhere where you're going to be slaving until you are no longer needed. And we know what happens when you're no longer needed in a work camp. There's plenty of examples. You can look all over Africa during the colonial period. You can look at what the United States does to its surplus labor now. It's slave time, baby. The United States of Slavelandia. That's what we are. You know? Salenti was right. The United States of Slavelandia. Us peasants here, while the government ransacks our cities with unconstitutional law enforcement agencies. They're not even law enforcement agencies. Really, they're jokes. They're cosplayers. They're LARPers. Border Patrol, CPB, ICE, whatever other acronyms they want to give themselves. Guess what? They're cowards. None of these guys signed up to go. I guarantee you a tiny fraction of these guys served. I guarantee you an even tinier fraction ever went to combat. Most of these guys are out here cosplaying. If they had balls, they would have balls in the spine. They would have went and fought these wars we went and fought. The rest of us, the real men, went and fought. The real women went and fought. These cowards like to beat up on people who are out here just trying to live their lives. You notice they don't go after the hard targets. Why is that? Because some of them would be going on a one-way ticket if they went after them real criminals. Some of them, that trip would be a one-way trip for them. And they know that. And that's why they don't go after hardened criminals. That's why they go after moms taking their kids to school. That's why they gassing Chicago PD and toddlers and all this kind of stuff. And this is when times are good. What do you think they're going to do when times are bad? I don't think enough of you, I honestly don't think any of y'all know the true depths of what happened in the United States during the Great Depression. I invite y'all to do your own research on the wildness that happened during the Great Depression. They don't teach you that shit in school. You're going to have to teach yourself that shit. All right. Well, it's getting late here, so Shabbat Shalom. I love y'all. You know, y'all be easy. Thanks for listening to the campfire tale of your reality that you're living in right now. Y'all stay out. Y'all stay blessed. Love y'all. Peace.